This is a QA course which will start with manual testing theory, then practical, then VB scripting, UFT basic, and UFT advanced. And today I'm going to start first topic, software development lifecycle. So before going to that, I have a very basic question to you guys. See, you guys both have been registered for me for the testing training, right? Okay, but I'm just starting up with the development life cycle. So why we have to start with development life cycle?
It's like a software development, right? So after the development only we go for the testing and then we release it.
Exactly. So testing is not an out-of-box activity. It is part of your development life cycle. Whatever the project that you are going to work on, so testing is part of your development life cycle. That was the reason when testing will be initiated in the project, what would be the pre-testing activities, what would be the post-testing activities, and what kind of a strategy that would be feasible to do the test in the current project. To get to know all these details, we should have a clear idea about development life cycle as well. So that was the reason, whatever the project that we may work on, okay, so first I would suggest, even whoever join in my team, I will also suggest that first try to understand the model, try to understand the structure of the project, how they are developing it, what type of software it is, kind of details. Okay, suppose if you take a website, usually how website will be designed, website will have a two phases. One is designing means the user interface, how you will access the website. Okay, what can be the looks, what is the first page, second page, how it should look like, where down. Second one is functionalities. So like every software can be developed by using different kind of strategies and approaches. Okay, so that was the reason, as a tester, as a QA engineer, as a QA senior resource or experienced guys, we should have an idea about a development life cycle. Okay, so what is a development life cycle? How could we define it? A simple definition of a development life cycle here is, see guys, if you just have to construct a building, how many number of activities are there? There could be n number of activities. First, we have to gather the information from the clients. We have to gather the place. We have to gather the plot place. We have to get the approvals for the constructions. Like so many number of steps are there. The same way, to develop a new software, there could be n number of activities are there. N number of activities means like so many number of steps are there. Okay, we have to write the instructions, use the programming languages, designing, collection of requirements, kind of so many number. So if we gathered, means what a model will gonna do, it will collect whatever activities that are there in development as a structure, as a framework, that would be called as software development lifecycle. What it would be called as? It would be called as software development lifecycle. In simple words, what is software development lifecycle we're going to do? It is a framework which describes the activities performed at each stage of a software development project. Let me repeat, it is a framework which describes the activities performed at each stage of a software development project. Okay, now what are those activities? There are basics of, when you say a development model, we have 6 basic activities, guys. How many activities we do have? Just 6 basic activities. Okay, so why these 6? What exactly these will gonna explains you to understand about development model. Okay, so if you just take any particular project, whatever the project that you're going to work, the first stage is requirements collection or requirement gathering, then design or architecture preparation, implementation or coding, testing, which is verification and validation, deployment and support. These are all the 6 major activities. Okay, these are all the 6 major activities that are there for any kind of development model. Means if somebody is developing a new software, if somebody has introducing a product to the market, these are the 6 basic steps. So let's understand in detail one by one. Okay, before explaining definitions, I'll just go with the example. So guys, the basic thing, let's say I'm giving you your trainings, right? So right now you guys have been referred by one of my friends, my consultants is kind of, right? Instead of that, I thought of starting my own company. So I just went to the research, and then when I went there, people say that you are going to start an online company. First, you need a website, because online means we don't have any physical office, right? So at least if I have to prove my identity to the customers, to the clients, to the students like you, I need a website. Okay, so right now I am the client, I'm the product owner, because I want the website, so I'm going to initiate my requirement. So as a business user, so I need a website. What is my first step? I will, in any of the project, in the beginning stages, first step is a business user, a product owner has to collect the information from the users, has to collect the information from his own team. Like what I will do if I need a website, I cannot go to the developer, because if I go to the developer will ask me so many number of questions. So in that case, okay, so what I'm going to do is I will just sit with my team. So what would be the appropriate website will be looks like, and what kind of a number of pages, each page should have what information. Like first page, I want all the courses displayed. Second page, once we click on any course pages, any content page, content pages, video pages, video, demo page, demo, feedback, direct connectivity with the customer kind of steps. So I will gonna mention all of them, and I'll gonna discuss with my own team, because if I'm starting a company, I cannot start. I have some partners too. So I have some team as well. I will discuss with them. This is called high level requirement collection from the client side. Client or product owner or a business owner, whatever name could be. Once this step has been done, what is my next step? Whatever this discussion outcome, I will gonna convert them as a documents. These document names would be called as blueprint document, business requirement specification document, user requirement specification document. Like that, there could be n number of names will be given, but the objective of these documents has to provide what is my website, what is my business, what would be the business flow, what would be the starting point, what would be the ending point, what would be the elaborated activities. Like that, I'm going to explain all of them in detail, guys.
All information.
Any questions?
No, I'm good.
We collect all the required information from the client.
Yeah, it's not B means it's not development team, it's not BA, it's not at all. It's only client side now. Once this collection of information has been collected, documents has been prepared, the next step is handing over this document to the development team, project team, I would say. Okay, So in this project team, there could be majorly developers. So handover, as part of the handover activities, as a client, I will take a sessions. I will take a training sessions. I'll explain the business of mine to them. I will explain the requirements. I'll explain what exactly I needed, how I'm expecting from this development team or this particular software. Then next, whatever information received to the development team, they'll do a feasibility check. What is client expecting? What could be feasible to develop? What cannot be developed? Whatever pros, concerns, issues, all of them will gonna be, again there would be a discussion. Then development team will gonna come up with final list of requirements. Boss, these are the requirements you shared with us, and these are the requirements we are planning to implement. This could be feasible for your project. Then client say that, okay, go ahead. That's where requirement analysis and collection will gonna be done, guys. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Any questions?
So far, so good.
Okay, but I have a basic question to you guys. Last week when I'm speaking to one of my project team, they say that they have a one more resource called, means usually product owners and the development team will be there, right? Either
Yes.
maximum testers will be there, right? But they have one more resource called business analyst will be there. Why business analyst? What is the role of business analyst for a project?
They collect the information from the client.
Why they have to collect the information from the client, Praneeth?
That means
Any
they have
guess?
Business.
uh, because they have the direct interaction with the client, and they go there and they directly collect all the required information and all the expectations from the client.
Correct. When client have a direct access to me, see right now I'm directly speaking to my client. So in that case, why I need a middle interpreter? What is the use of one more resource there? And why I have to pay for him?
So we can get this class.
Okay, I'll give you a good example. See guys, when I want a website, I assume that I'm a non-technical guy. I don't know anything about technical. Okay, I just wrote in a Word document saying that I want first page like this, second page like this, third page like this way I was expecting, like that I wrote it first just for the purpose of the developers. When I just started with initiating with a development company, see that I said I want a software. Immediately the sales team has come to me and asked me question, what kind of a website you need? Do you need static website? Do you need dynamic website? Do you need the technology of C hash or C sharp or .NET or Java? What kind of a technology you need? How many number of web pages you need? How many number of logos you need? How many number of palettes you need? How many number of user interfaces needed? How many number of app? Like that, I just gave me a 100 questionnaire.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the business. I just have the money. Okay, I'm the client like kind of a resource. If those many number of questions has to me, will I be able to answer?
No.
First of all, I will think I will just drop off that part about website at all. Why? Because I'm not a technical guy. And if something if I say that, say I said that I have a student will gonna come this way, can you create a requirement, can you create a software for me? If I explain the same way to the developer also will not understand because I'm speaking in business terms. So to have a balance, to have a proper communication between product owners or a clients or stakeholders along with the development team or project team, we have one interpreter resource we would be calling as business analyst. What is his job? He will has to handle entire business related requirements. He may get involved with the business client requirement collections. If required, BA will also draft the requirements, because he might have a technical knowledge, at the same time he will have the business knowledge too. So he would suggest that. So see, I said I want a training website like that, then BA will going to suggest, see, this could be better for you, this could be more feasible for you. If you go with this is kind of an issue, and what is exact your needs, tell me, so that I will come up with my own plan, then we will gonna discuss. Then if needed, we'll ask the BA to write down the requirements. So like that, in a project we might have the developers, business analyst, product owners, etc, etc. So that was the reason BA need what kind of a skill. BA should have excellent presentation skills, excellent communication skills, excellent, uh, you know, uh, excellent personality development. Why? Because the person whoever going to give, speak to the client, like at the instant decision should has to be made, because you are speaking to the client, you are going to finalize the requirement based on your proper analysis. The next level of the project activities, building stuff, everything will be done. So BA should be more communicative resource,
You should
also be
convey
there in the
the
project.
proper information, exact information.
Exactly. Not only proper information, you have to impress the client. Okay, if you scare the
Yeah,
client,
yeah.
gone. Okay, or if you just over smart, also client will recognize. Or if you just add unnecessary things, like I will give you a very good example. 2 months back there was a project has come, it's a simple one-to-one project has come with the two customers. So initially the customer have a budget of 1 million, so customer said okay, go ahead with the project. When customer entered it, the sales team has, they are very greedy. Okay, so let's go and expand the business with that customer. So sales team has told them that this would be better, this would be better, this would be better, like that. They increase the project cost to 1 to 1.5 million by
Oh,
just explaining the additional features, even though it is not required for the client for now, but still they impressed the client saying that this would be better and all. But whatever could be, okay, whether your client is impressed or not, finally it will always depends on financial matters. Then what client thought is, when it find 1.5, when he see that it took the overall budget, he just dropped off the software project itself, he just terminated the project itself, because he got scared, or he estimated one but it has been went to the 1.5, which he doesn't want, take a risk, even though he liked it, but ultimately, so sometimes, you should never give overestimation, and you should never give underestimation to it. Whatever is needed, client, first you satisfy them, then you go for the next level.
Mhm.
okay.
Clear? So
Yeah,
anyway,
got it.
this is all requirement collection and analysis for a particular standard project, guys. Are you able to follow, Sanjeet?
Yes.
Excellent. Now this is requirements done. Let's say 25 requirements I told to the client, it has been specified. These are the 25 requirements. Immediately the next step that we're going to do here is design
Design.
phase. What would be the design phase here? Design means I would expect whatever the specified requirements by the client, whatever the specified requirement by the client. Okay, I would ask a technical architect or a project architect who have the skill of business knowledge, at the same time more experienced resource in the technical architects. So he may also get involved in the beginning phase of the project. So what they're gonna does, this architect level people or experienced developer will gonna come up with a concept, like they will prepare the full layout of the software in pictorial representation. in picture format. Picture format means flow charts, algorithms, and functional flow diagrams, use case diagrams, whatever could be, whatever the way you can explain the entire business design into a complete technical way. That's what we're gonna do over here. So in this design, there are two ways again, technical and functional flow. Technical means what could be the technology that could be used on which server to which particular client end user, kind of link between them will be there. Okay. And the next one here is not only that, if you go to the other area, there would be functional flow. What is the first page? From first page to the second page, how it would be linked, where it has to click. What is the third page? From like complete flow. If I see the diagram, I should get to know that what could be the total number of functionality that are exist, business process that are there for that particular website. This design will be prepared by an architect level of resource. Clear? Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear.
Once this design has been done, then I will not go and start doing the development. I will go back to the customer. Boss, this is what the design, please approve it. If possible, explain to him. Then we'll go for the coding. This is my toughest area, guys. Whenever you say coding means whatever the design has been done. So with reference to the design, we'll do the coding. Who will do it? Technical developers who are well versed with the technologies. They might use some of the technologies like Java, .NET, whatever it could be, and then there would be a development will be done.
Yeah.
Once this development has been done, okay, then the next step is testing. So guys, testing means I will explain you testing subject later in detail, but as of now, assume that whatever has been developed by you or a development team will just do the test whether it is working as per the expected. But what would be the reference documents for us to do a test it, reference scope of to do a test it? That is requirement documents or design document. By seeing them, tester will gonna check whether the application is behaving as per the expectations or not.
And that's the QA job, right?
Exactly. And when we are doing the testing, if we found any deviation, we'll report them as a defect. Okay, and then defect would be followed through there. So that is what testing is all about. Once all the defects has been fixed, if there are no open defects in the project,
Okay.
okay, once this defect has been reported, defect will be fixed back to you, then we'll do a retest it. So like that, every project will have these kind of a common steps, and then we'll go, once this testing has been done, if there are no defects, if all the defects has been fixed, then we'll move on to the next phase called deployment. Deployment means handing over the software to the
Right.
clients or product owner. It's like online launch. Sometimes if it is server based, we're going to launch a server online itself. So like that. Okay. Then finally, we go with the, once we done the deployment, okay, next step is we go with the maintenance and support activities. It's like it's not maintenance. We won't use this word in software. We may use it as common as support, technical support. Some of the software, even they launched, sometimes data maintenance, data to be modified, data to be upgraded. if you have take the example of Amazon, every day I used to open Amazon at least 4 to 5 times. All 5 times I will see different information over there, because there is 24/7 team is working for that website. Technical support 25/7 support is there for that. Okay, like some of the software will require a maintenance, some of them needed 6 months maintenance, 3 months maintenance will be required. So all those will be as part of your maintenance part. But basic development task, if you ask me, requirement analysis and specification, okay, and then design or architecture preparation, okay, and then we can go with the implementation, which are coding, testing, which is verification and validation, then deployment and support activities. Any questions?
No.
What about you, Sanjit?
I'm good.
Excellent. So now this is a basic development model, but we can just follow these same activities for every project? No. Client has specific requirements, specific types of the application, specific types of the products you do have. When you have these kind of specific requirements, people had come up with a n number of development methodologies. So that was the reason we are covering the rest of the development methodologies. One is waterfall model, V-shaped model, prototype, incremental, spiral, rapid, and agile development methodologies. So like that, there are various development methodologies are there in the market.
Okay.
Let's discuss one by one in detail now. Okay, so guys, if you could observe now, I have just explained basic development model, right? But I have
Yes.
used the same slide as waterfall model.
Yeah.
What is that meaning? Both are similar. What is the difference? Both are similar, but there are a strategical approach is different. If you could illustrate in detail, there could be a strategic changes there. What is that? See, suppose let's take the same example. I said one website was there, right? I want a website. I went to the development company. We decided to go with a 50 pages website. Initial requirement handover. I said they wanted the handover. They wanted to understand each and every page. So I told I don't have full information. I can able to only go with only 40 pages now. How many pages?
40.
40 pages. So that's an excuse I'm giving this. As I'm the boss, I'm the client, I'm the product owner, development team has to follow that. Okay, they said, okay, you go with, so right now you go with 40 pages, I'll gonna come up with 10 pages in between. And once they're done the requirement analysis of 40 pages, we'll go to the next. Suddenly the development team will gonna, the product team will gonna come, I'll say, I'll add to 10. That might be the issue impact, but still they'll follow it because it's a regular SDLC mode. But in waterfall model, these two principles are there. One is whatever you planned as a client. If you say plan 50 pages, till you hand over 50 pages, I will not move on to the next phase.
Okay.
Suppose you done.
So what are these pages? Is this just like a design or requirements they're trying to start something?
Yeah, development requirements. So what? So the customer says that okay, I can not able to give 50 by okay. You suppose I have given 50, but in between the design, client say that see I want one page to be modified. I want one deletions update should be done. In waterfall model, we don't allow it. So what are those principles? Whatever planned activities, till you complete all the planned activities, will not going to move on to the next phase. Okay, and once you are into the you are moved on the next phase, whatever changes you have, will not going to accept it. So that is all about waterfall model, and the steps would be same as like regular SDLC: requirements, design, coding, testing, deployment, and support
So
activities.
that means each phase must be completed fully before the next phase. Next phase, right? Next
Exactly,
phase begins.
exactly, exactly. That's the reason the name is also it's waterfall. How water will gonna fall, guys? It will fall from
It's
high
a
end to low.
sequential order.
Exactly. Top down approach model, kind of. And if you observe the water flow as well, if you want to send back the water, naturally, will it be possible, guys?
No.
No.
Possible. So that's the reason it will be top down approach, only one way.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have a basic question now. So if you could follow waterfall model, what could be the disadvantages and advantages?
With the waterfall model,
Yes,
advantages is like as you said, like it is very simple and easy to understand and easy to manage. And the phases, it is since it is one after the other, the phases do not overlap,
correct. So
and the
here,
model, the phases are processed and completed at a time. It won't overlap,
correct.
and this is the advantage.
Okay. What about disadvantages?
Might be you cannot come back to fix something. Since it's a waterfall, you have to just complete one task and move on.
Okay.
And the
Very simple.
disadvantage is it won't accept any changes or any defects. It's
Correct.
rework cost
It's not about defects, it's about issues.
issues. Yeah.
Okay, let me give you an overview. Simple. The waterfall model is a best likable model, best flexible model for the developers. Why? Because there is easy to understand, freshers also can be able to understand, provides the structure to the inexperienced staff, well defined milestones, and it will gonna set the requirements stability. The requirements will be stable, and it is easy for the management to control the activities, and it works well when quality is more important than cost or schedule. So these
Yeah.
are all major advantages with the waterfall model. Now coming back to the deficiencies or drawbacks. So guys, if somebody asks me to develop a project with waterfall model, I will not agree right now, because the current trend is not like that. See, if you see, are you seeing Go Meeting software, right? Just 2 weeks back, I have a different user interface. I'm using this software from last 7 years. Okay, every 2-3 weeks I'll get new update. I'll get new patch. Why? Because it has to match up with the market precedents, market competitions, and it will always a flexibility to the customer. Nowadays, clients are expecting the flexibility. See, he is a boss for you, he's paying for you, but you are giving a rules to him, and you are not allowing changes. You are not providing the flexibility to him, and you are not showing anything to the customer till you complete the development. Okay, and it's not like suppose customer has done a mistake, you are not in a position to accept it. So those are all major drawbacks with the waterfall model. So that was the reason wherever the requirements are upfront, were very clear, and if the client doesn't care about money and time, for those kind of a projects, waterfall model would be the best suitable development methodology.
Okay.
So if you just think about practical terms, people will gonna use waterfall also one kind of a software. Means they will, sorry, waterfall also for
Model.
regular development also they'll use as waterfall model. Okay, if you are doing requirements, design, coding and all, they say that you're following waterfall model, kind of. And the other disadvantage with waterfall model is that testing. When we are doing the testing, guys,
When everything's done.
After, yeah,
once all the
after the
development
software
done,
is developed.
testing exactly. So I'll give you my experience in 15 years back when I just go for the internship. Okay, I used to attend for one company. It's a small company. The team, if you see the team size, they have 12 developers and only 2 testers. And then that kind of a ratio. And what happens, to save the money and to save the budget, they won't hire the testers if a new project has come, suppose. They'll hire the developers on January. I mean, if the project has been initiated on January, so on January, they're going to hire all the developers. Developer is working on. So let's say to complete the development, design, coding, everything, they may take 6 months. Till 6 months, they won't hire the testers at all. So there is no tester role at all. So after in 6th, 7th month, when testing phase is about to start, begin, then they are going to hire the testers.
So why can't the developers test themselves since they make the stuff?
That's an excellent question. Why a developer? Because he has a good technical skill. Why developer will not do the test? Will you be able to answer that, Praneeth?
Uh, so how can he perform? Like he only designed the software. How can he test it by himself? So there should be someone to test it. For example, if he constructed the house, or if he built something, how can he design that and how can he test it by himself? There should be someone to judge it and to identify the defects in that, or else he can compromise with that, like since he developed that, he only compromised with the defects. Did you get my point?
Okay, no issues. I'll tell you. Very simple. See, guys, if one resource is developing now, 100 times he tested, he was also doing the testing, okay, but his third process, his thoughtful is he'll always go with only positive way, because I only developed it, I will not do the mistake.
He will take in a positive way.
Exactly. So I would expect the testing which should be completely away from the development team, who doesn't know what is the technical details that is there in the background. Because if you're there, then your testing approach will be changed. I want a resource who doesn't involved in technicality itself, who doesn't involved in development itself, who would be a new person as a tester. Then they could be able to do a test it in a proper way.
Yes, but I heard from some of my friends like saying like they don't hire any QAs anymore because they test their product themselves. And which was I was thinking like that is kind of
That is,
weird.
it's not weird, but some of the greedy customers, they're going to use that. Okay,
Mm.
which they don't want to spend the money on the testers additionally to hire them and all. Okay, they will ask
maybe
the
maybe,
developers to, because they have the faith.
maybe that with the small companies or small clients
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, small companies sometimes, even though
with
big
less
companies
budget.
also, some of the products, yeah, some of the products they don't want to, uh, it's a classified information. It might be a classified information. It might be some specific technical support is required, and it's a bit difficult for the third person to explain. So that's the reason they might do, but it's not a right approach.
Hmm.
Because for me, as per my experience, if a project was there, if a software is getting developed, one cycle of Manual testing should be done by the third resource. Clear? So there would be a
Yes.
little opportunity to the customer to have a preview of the application in this particular model. Okay, so these are all major drawbacks of the waterfall model. Okay, and that's how this model will be implemented. So that was the reason I told that waterfall model would be one of the basic development methodology which can be referred as a regular SDLC. But still it can be developed when you have a upfront all the requirements of the project in detail, then it would be easy for you to implement. Clear, guys? Does it make sense now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now there is a drawback with the waterfall model. So when testing is going to be taken care of, guys?
At the end.
Yeah, after the development at the end, we can't do it
After
parallelly.
complete, yeah, if you go back to the previous example, so in my 15 years back, there was a company, they're going to hire the tester in the 7th month, whenever testing is required. Okay, till that, if you don't do the development, when the tester has joined, when the tester found a defect, what happens, the fixation defect time will gonna to be more. The cost of the defect fixing will gonna be more. Okay, so to handle that, to do a more qualitative and early stages of identifying the defects, people have identified one more development methodology called SDLC development methodology. What was that, guys?
I didn't get you. What is that model?
V as Victor, V-shaped development
Oh,
model,
okay. Okay.
verification and validation development.
Okay. Okay. V model. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, and to do a more better way of V-shaped model with displaying the sample to the customer, we have come up with prototype. So like that, various other development methodologies will do have as well. So we can go and discuss them in our next session.